We don't, recently, the guideline has changed. You have to screen every child before you start antibiotics, which is, I think, is going to be helpful for your product. If the guidelines say that you have to establish epidemiology of every single case with otitis media before you start antibiotic, then I think your test will become extremely useful. But right now, the criteria says you have to strep screen every child with a cold before starting antibiotics. So the strep screen become evidence-based medicine. We frown on people who start antibiotic with a strep screen not being done. We get dinged for it if we don't do some kind of screening prior to prescribing antibiotics. So we want to make sure people are not using antibiotic for a cold, right? So otitis media is one of those that established epidemiology is not one of the evidence-based guidelines that we have to. In the case of resistance, then as I say, you try different trial and error. But I wonder because the test like yours hasn't existed, so we have no way of testing them.
And what about acute sinusitis, wherein the result can actually make a difference in terms of prescribing an antibiotic or not? Because what we believe that antibiotics are usually started at a 5th or a 7th day of the illness, and wherein we believe that our product has a more applicability. So would you have more preponderance of using this product for every patient of acute sinusitis? Am I correct on that?
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think if this is reasonable and reimbursable, then yeah, that would actually, not with otitis, but perhaps with sinusitis, because we have drainage that easily more accessible than the otitis.
Absolutely. And would you believe, or would you say that this kind of a product has a potential to be included in the guidelines and be a routine thing rather than be an exception thing, at least for sinusitis?
I think so. I mean, yeah, I think that will I think that will make you a little more prudent. But remember, otitis media in recent years, that the evidence-based guidelines saying that you don't have to treat it, right? So even if your assay came back positive, that won't change the treatment pattern, right? Because if it's a mild case and the kids happen to have strep pneumonia bacteria, we're still not going to treat.
Symptoms.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And for sinusitis cases, from an applicability perspective, since our product gives a semi-quantitative result, would you say that it can be used to check the progress of the treatment or the progress of the disease basis the bacterial load, whether it's increasing on a day-to-day basis or not? Would that something that would excite you as a clinician?
So I will tell you this. I think with this assay, if it's commercially available, I probably would use it to track my resistant or my recurring, but not my routine one. So my first line come in, they got a fever, pulling in the ears, the eardrums bright red. I'm just going to treat, and then follow back, make sure it's clear.
For sinusitis as well? For sinusitis as well?
Both.
Okay.
So if it's a response to my first line, I'm probably not going to culture. This is probably going to be interesting for me to track the kids who have been recurring symptoms, because now I need to establish whether or not the treatment is. So you basically you test for cure, right? You want to see if it's clear or not. And if it's not clear, then has the bacteria pathology changed, and therefore I need to change my antibiotic choice or the length of treatment.
Okay. And just one more thing. Our product does not test the antibiotic susceptibility to that particular pathogen which is detected. Would that be a drawback in deciding the next line of therapy?
So again, the sensitivity exists in the culture, right? And so I because I'm thinking of my strep screen experience. With the group A strep, we don't have sensitivity, and we just have a bacteria. Okay. We basically either it's positive or it's negative, and then you make the clinical decision what antibiotic choice you use. But with this test, if it comes with sensitivity, that's going to be even better. Holy cow, that's going to be like awesome.
Just to be clear on that, when we say sensitivity, we don't mean antibiotic susceptibility. Sensitivity means that there would be less false positives and